Well, hi, it's Jerry with I Love RV Life. I've been getting so many questions since we installed the lithium batteries. How did we install that Victron SmartShunt? Well, today I'm going to show you how simple it is. If you have just bought a new RV, or you've had one for a little while and you still have that stock mattress that came with the RV, you're going to go, Jerry, I know where you're coming from. I feel your pain. And that pain is those mattresses are like, the nicest way I can put it, cloth-covered concrete. They're just awful. They're terrible. And that's in the largest percentage of the RVs that you purchase today. The mattresses are just terrible, terrible. Well, Joan and I tried everything. We put in pillow toppers, and then we didn't like that. We put a gel topper. We didn't like that. And then we tried foam, those foam things that you add, and it just made bad, not even better. It was just, we were never comfortable with that. And then we found RVmattress.com by Brooklyn Bedding. This is a signature series. The comfort is just absolutely amazing, just absolutely amazing. You can go to RVmattress.com. There are selections that you make on the type of sleep that you have and the type of mattress you want, and even a chat function. If you're not sure, you can chat with them and they'll come back with you and you can go, I sleep like this, or I have this type of RV, and this is what I want to be able to have for my RV to make my sleep comfort much better. They're so, so helpful. They're amazing mattresses. You go to the website, you pick out the size that you want, and look, there's dozens of different sizes of mattresses that you can find inside of an RV, and I think they've got them all covered. Simply click on the size that you want, bang, you can go ahead and make your order, and when that order comes in just a couple weeks, comes in a small box. It is so simple to install. You just take it out of the cardboard box, spread it out on the platform, carefully take it out of its plastic. Within minutes, the mattress expands to full size, no off-gassing. It's wonderful, it's comfortable, it's easy, and it's ready to sleep on that night. There's 4 different types of mattresses to consider from Brooklyn Bedding. They're all foam, all the way up to their hybrid series. Joan and I have the signature hybrid. We just absolutely love it. But the benefits don't just stop there alone with ease of installation. They have a 120-night sleep trial. I found that amazing. And then a 10-year warranty on top of that. All the mattresses are made in the United States and shipped directly to your door free. Well, if you would like to get your own Brooklyn Bedding mattress, then go to RVmattress.com/I Love RV Life. Select your mattress, select your size, the comfort level that you want, and then at checkout, enter the code I Love RV Life to get 20% off your purchase. Well, I'd like to thank RV Mattress by Brooklyn Bedding for sponsoring today's video. These mattresses by Brooklyn Bedding, wow, they're amazing. Well, hi, it's Jerry. I've been getting so many questions. You bought this SmartShunt, and when you installed that lithium battery, and you didn't talk about it hardly at all. Well, today I'm going to show you how I installed it. It was very, very simple to install the shunt. Unfortunately, I had to rearrange the wiring, so I will explain why I had to do that in my application. You may not have to do that in yours. Very simple device to install, very simple device to be able to change the configuration, do the setup, and be able to get it to where it will read properly. Very, very easy. What took me hours was rearranging the power for my specific application because of the way the wiring was done. Let's go over here and I'll explain what I ran into and really how easy it was to be able to remedy that. We're in travel mode. You can see if you saw the latest project, you can see the generator sitting over here. We keep our air compressor all strapped in here. This is all the hydraulics that you see in this area. This is the after of all the rewiring work that I did. Let me show you the before. And in the before diagram, you can see the battery down here at the bottom, and you can see possibly two leads. It might be better if I show you here in the diagram. Here I created just a simple diagram of what it was like before. the battery had 2 leads off of it. It had a 1/0 that goes to our inverter, and this inverter powers 7 outlets in the fifth wheel from a refrigerator, TV, believe it or not, our theater chairs, and then we've just got a couple of other convenience outlets that we can use. And then we also have the main feed that goes to this fuse box that feeds all the various 12-volt leads that are going to various things inside the camper. Our slide outs, our hydraulic system, our lighting, our furnace. It goes up to the main panel for distribution as well. We've got a large lead going there. And you know, just lights, you know, all those types of things. And to get a proper reading from your shunt, you can only have one output, one negative lead from your battery. I had 2, so if I was to put this shunt on either one of those, then I would be losing, you know, one large component, either the main feed into the camper or the main feed into the inverter. And let's face it, as we're traveling down the road, that inverter is getting the most drain because it is powering our residential refrigerator. So now let me show you what the new configuration is, and I'll give you just a view inside the camper here, and then I created a second diagram for that. So this is the change. First of all, if you see these 2 leads right here, these are 2/0 cables that go inside the bay here to where our lithium battery is. The big issue is one lead coming from the negative on the battery going to our SmartShunt. And here is the installation of the SmartShunt. Going up from here, I have to then be able to provide a negative feed both to the inverter. There's that 1/0 that was going to the battery, and to this. This is, I think, a 2-gauge wire that goes down here and then goes to this distribution panel. And this is all those, here is the main feed going into our panel, this large 2-gauge here, and then just various other leads that go to, again, the hydraulic system, and then just some other distributions throughout the fifth wheel here. But for you to be able to get a proper reading on your SmartShunt, you can only have one lead coming off your battery. And then I just use these basic distribution bars. These are 250 amp distribution bars that you see here. I won't pull the covers off of them. I have 2 more leads in here that if I want to add other components to these over time, I have the ability to be able to do that. I did this for growth. You know, your fuses that you have here, cutoffs going up to the main part, to the main inverter, and then I've got a master cutoff here that I can turn that off. So turning this off right here, turning this off right here, I isolate the entire camper from the battery supply, so I have the ability to be able to do that. One other thing I will show you here on the shunt, and this is so simple to install. It's just cut that lead going to your battery and put whatever size cable that you have here. These are 2/0. You might have something smaller, you might have something larger. This has to go on the negative side of the battery for a proper reading. The sticker here covers it up a little bit, but right here on this side it says to the minus of the battery, and this goes to the minus of the system. Literally that simple. You can't make a mistake if you can just read those 2 labels. Then you'll see this little red wire here. There's 2 posts under here, an auxiliary and then a power for the shunt. They provide you with this cable. It's fused, and then I connected it here to a spare post on the power of this unit right here. This is not used for reading, it's just used to power this device. So here's your power side, and then it pulls from the negative of the battery to power that. It is literally that simple to be able to install this. If I didn't have to do this rearrangement, you're looking at probably 15 minutes easy, 30 on the worst case of being able to install the SmartShunt, the physical installation. Easy breezy. Here, I'll just put you a diagram up here so you can look quickly. You can see how I combined the negative and positives on the bus bars, and you can see how I split it here to the shunt. And then coming back here from the diagram, you can just see all these components. These are all the original components that were already in the system. I didn't have to replace any of that. It's fine from the factory. Just had to add this to combine the elements that were on that battery post of the box. There's nothing wrong with that. It worked fine. I just could not measure the system performance using a shunt. Now, lots of questions have come up about how to configure the intelligence in this. Let's talk about that just a minute. Let's start by opening the Victron app. Here you see two devices that we use. This is another reason why I like to use Bluetooth. I can combine any Victron device that I have, and maybe adding some more later. Here you see the SmartShunt at the top that I recently installed, and then you see our smart solar system that we have that's down below there as well. So let's focus on the SmartShunt. So here I can open up the SmartShunt, and you can see my state of charge is at 100%. Again, you can tell this is lithium. You can see my voltage is at 14.69. So depending on what is charging this, whether it is my charger converter, my 75 amp charger converter that comes with the fifth wheel that is lithium configurable, or whether that I'm using the Victron 7515 solar charger with my solar panels up top, which is also configurable for lithium. I can bring this up to 100% of charge, and currently we're plugged in at a campground, so I don't expect to see this go down any at all, really. And I can just look right now, we're not pulling anything from the battery, again, because we're sitting in a campground. So I can see my voltage, I can see what my current draw is, I can see what my power draw is, and I can see time remaining. I'm not getting any time remaining right now because I'm at 100% with no power being used. That's real important. Some may look at this and go, oh, you don't have it configured properly because you don't have any time remaining. It cannot calculate time remaining unless I have some type of current draw. So that's part of the algorithm, the maths that goes in this to make it work. But it's literally that simple. I can go here and look at history of what we've used over time. Here you can see how much power we used. We did use some driving up here to the campground. It was a rainy day, so I was getting hardly anything from the solar panels, and this was keeping the refrigerator working, and then running the slide outs in and out using the hydraulic systems to level the camper, etc. So I used 3.5 kilowatts with that. I have not reset this since I installed this system weeks ago, and you can actually see usage. I did use the batteries only, I think, 4 times. And during that period of time, you can look down here at the bottom, battery voltage, and you can actually see where the battery's max at full charge was at 14.87 volts, and then as we started consuming the battery over time, the lowest it had received was 12.66 volts. Part of that was during that long test that I did during the battery discharge, where I let it work for 24 hours and was running TVs and lights and all kinds of things during that period. So the biggest issue, I can look at this at any point, anywhere around the camper, outside the camper, and I can just pull this up and see exactly how the system is performing. Now, setup. Let's go to the setup function here, and we can look at the battery. You'll notice here I have no place to mark this as a lithium battery. This is all that I have here in the setting. So I get this from my spec sheet of the battery. It is a 300 amp hour battery. Its charge voltage is 14.6. Has a discharge floor of 10%. You see my tail current. The Pucharette exponent, I have trouble with pronouncing that, is 1.05. That's substantially less substantially less than lead atom. Charge efficiency factor at 99%, threshold medium to go average. Now, several of these settings are recommended lithium settings by Victron. So the charge efficiency factor was a recommendation from Victron, and the Pucharette exponent, sorry I have so much trouble with that, was also the recommendation of 1.05. Everything else came from the battery manufacturer. It's set. Super, super, super easy to set this system up. No problem whatsoever. Well, that's all it is to it. It's a very simple system. I've always wanted to be able to have a SmartShunt on my fifth wheel, my RV. I don't know why I waited till now to be able to do it. They're not that expensive, and the amount of information that you get to understand how much power you actually have is very, very important. With lithium, I can look at the entire distribution and what I have coming from that battery, and if I was still on a lead acid, I think it becomes even more important, because once you get below 12 volts, you're getting in trouble, you're stressing your batteries, and the lower that voltage gets on those lead acid, the more damage long-term that you do to your batteries, and you can even destroy them. You can damage the plates in them, and they can never recover properly. You'll take all the life out of them. So these SmartShunts are very, very important. I hope you found this information helpful. I love doing these types of projects, and I love RV life too.